Hi guys, and welcome to my review of the movie Jarhead. It's a 2005 film, and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Jamie Foxx, Evan Jones, Lucas Black. It's directed by Sam Mendes, and it is actually based on the memoirs of Anthony Swofford, who was a Marine back during the first Desert Storm, when it was known as Desert Shield back in, I think it started in 89 or 90. So it's based on that time period, and it kind of chronicles some of his basic training with the Marine Corp and how he got chosen to be a sniper and all that. But it also goes into the first about 150, 160 days of Desert Shield, and right as it was being named Desert Storm. It's actually a really, really good movie. Tons of emotion in it. I was really surprised at Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, he seems to always, well, maybe not always, but most of the time he gets films with a lot of emotion in it. He's very good at portraying all of that emotion. I mean, you can just see it on his face. You know, and it's, from what I've heard from other people that I've known that were military. I've been around military all my life. My folks, both of my parents were Army. I married into the Army. A lot of my friends have been Army, and they've been in positions everything from medic to sniper. So I've known a wide variety of skill sets in the military. They're known as MOSs. But yeah, so from what I've heard from them, the film seems to be pretty damn accurate. Really does. You know, the whole peeing in a trench, the burning of the poop from the latrines, that kind of stuff. Yeah, pretty accurate from what I've heard. It does kind of make you think about a little bit of what they go through. I mean, yes, my experience is Army. This movie was Marine. But it's still the military. It's still hurry up and wait. No matter what, it's still hurry up and wait. I mean, even if you're not in the military, but you deal with the government, you know about the hurry up, and then you wait. They're never in a rush for us, but we have to be in a rush for them. So, you know, that's just the way it is, you know? Whatever. When you sign that paper, you know you're just a number. You no longer belong to anybody but them. You just kind of know that going in, and if you don't, you find out really quickly, as these guys did. So it was just a really good film. Like I said, it's got a lot of emotion. The one thing that cracked me up right at first was watching Evan Jones, who I remember, I mean, he's been in a lot of different things, but I remember him as Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile. And Cheddar Bob shot himself during 8 Mile, you know, the character did. And so, you know, most of the way through this film, I'm waiting on Cheddar Bob to shoot himself. And he never did. He really is a good actor, and he's really good at portraying actors that are missing a few brain cells. But yeah, so I thought that was really kind of fun, you know, just kind of sitting there waiting. It is a 2-hour film. I mean, it's like 2 hours and a couple minutes. You know, and that first hour is really setting everything up. You know, I mean, it's necessary for it to be 2 hours long. That last hour flew by, totally flew by. I didn't even realize the hour had gone by. So, I mean, it totally pulled me in. I have kind of a thing for a lot of military-type films like this. I was surprised to see Dennis Haysbert in it, who a lot of you guys probably know him now as, like, what is it, State Farm, I believe is what he's doing now. You know, the one you're in good hands. But I've watched him a lot in the series The Unit. So seeing him still as military, it was, like, very believable for me. I mean, I did not find these characters to be unbelievable at all. The stupidity that they portrayed in this movie is real. Like the guy that couldn't set up the landmine. He didn't know which direction it went, even though it had directions on it. I got a buddy of mine that was Army, that was in Desert Storm, and he said he ran across that with several people. But it's got directions on it. But that really happened. That was actually accurate. So, I mean, it makes you wonder about our military, but it also, you know, I mean, it makes you understand them a little bit better as well. You know, it does kind of give you a slightly different perspective. It does kind of make you think a little bit. You know, and I don't know, I've always had empathy for, you know, our military personnel. You know, I have, because of having been around it. I understand. I've heard a lot. You know, I've read my mom's notes, things like that. And, you know, I mean, these guys and women see a lot over there. They see a lot in general. I mean, my mom wasn't even stationed over there during Nam. I mean, she was military during Nam. She's got to see what came back, and it still affected her big time. You know, I mean, so, yeah, these guys go through a lot. You know, I mean, it's just, this is an amazing film, though. And I'm glad that it was really popular. I'm glad that it's not another Vietnam film. This is a more modern-day war film. And I liked that about it. You know, it pulled it back into perspective, made it for our generation, not just the baby boomers, not just the previous generations. This is something that everybody can still watch, everybody can still get into it, and it's still good. And it's still full of emotion. It's still got, you know, a little bit of sex in it. It's got burning oil fields in it. It's got a little bit of everything in it, and a little bit of action. Well, actually, a lot of bit of action, but I mean a little bit of military action. You know, it really starts to pick up. So, I mean, it's just a really good film. Jamie Foxx, who's also in it, he plays, oh God, what did he play? He played Staff Sergeant. And, yeah, I've seen him in a lot of different things, and he pulled this off really, really, really nicely. I was rather impressed. You know, the soundtrack was good, even though they kind of borrowed from some of the older types of military movies and some of the other types of soundtracks. You would hear the same songs on those types of movies. And they actually made a comment about it, which was really funny. They made a comment about it in the movie. But I really liked this film. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's a good film. It's very accurate, and it is based off of memoirs. You know, I mean, Swofford did not actually write this film. The screenplay, I didn't write down who the screenplay was by, but anyhow, the screenplay was written by somebody else, but it is based on his book. And from what I can tell, they kind of kept it true to the book, which they don't do a lot of all the time. You know, they usually take a lot of artistic license with it, and I liked it. I liked this movie. Interesting fact, I don't know how many people know this, but I look up, y'all know how much of a geek I am, so I looked up Jamie Foxx, and I looked up Jake Gyllenhaal and Lucas Black and all of that. Like Lucas Black, of course, people probably remember him from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. You know, he's the one with the twangy accent, but he's still, you know, he's a good actor. He is. I mean, they were all really good actors. But something funny I found out about Jamie Foxx, I did not know that was not his real name. His real name is Eric Marlon Bishop. He changed his name because women were getting first billed in the comedy club. So he thought with a name like Jamie Foxx, it would be a little more ambiguous, and then he wouldn't be singled out as a male. He would be able to be placed anywhere. Maybe he would get called sooner, you know, onto the stage and stuff. Just thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know, I looked it up and I about died. I was like, oh my God, that's his name? So, you know, and he got his last name from the comedian Red Fox, who's totally trippy. But anyhow, I'm not going to go into a Jamie Foxx feel. I happen to like his work, both his acting and his comedic work. But this movie, Jarhead, is a really good movie. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a little tough to watch in parts, I'll give you that. But at the same time, you feel so much of this raw emotion, because it really is acted very well. You know, I mean, when I know I'm going to do a review on a movie, I start looking for things that I can pick apart on it, and I didn't really see anything. Maybe because I was too caught up in the film that I couldn't pick it apart. I don't know. But I liked this movie. Watch it if you haven't, you know, and if you have, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did and as much as a lot of people have. IMDb did give it a score of 7.1 out of 10. So it still did pretty good. You know, so most of it was filmed in California. A little bit of it was filmed over in New Mexico and Arizona. But mainly it was filmed over in California, and they did a bang-up job with those special effects. So, yeah, just watch the film. Check it out. Jarhead's 2005 film, and it does chronicle like the first 150 roughly days of Desert Shield, Desert Storm. You also get like an idea into the boot camp process there at Camp Pendleton there in California, which is like one of the main Marine training areas. So yeah, just check it out. And I hope y'all have a good day. Hope y'all have enjoyed the film if you've watched it, and if not, go watch it. But y'all have a good day, good night, wherever you are, and I will talk with you later. Bye.